Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend already. We're back out. And we tried to make it into our spot because we wanted to go back and do some snow hiking. I'll explain that in a little bit. But the road it's drifted over. We can't get back to it. So we came down to this spot just to turn around. And I saw right off the bat this. This is clear cut. The forest comes in. I've showed it before in other videos. The Forest Service comes in and they do some clear cutting and they leave stacks. They cut the trees up into firewood and they leave them at these campsites. This isn't a campsite. This is a picnic area. Those are treetops that are left on the wayside. These have been stacked up and it's hollowed out on the inside. Not saying a human couldn't have made it, didn't make it, but why? And then, as we're looking at that, I turn around and saw that right there. Ingrid's up there taking stills. So we're going to walk up there and we're going to take a look at this. You can see what they do. Here's a pile of it. They cut the treetops and they leave the non-firewood in piles so people can come and take it if they want and use it. But that one that I showed at the start, there's no rhyme or reason. This is in our series of Campground Sasquatch. Okay? We know they're here. Our spot is probably a mile down the road. The other teepees that we've found are a mile down the road. Actually, not down the road. It's about a mile over that hill in the forest. So that right there, that was interesting. But this right here, this teepee is in line with the other teepees that we have found. Now these there's some cut pieces in here, but if you look up, a lot of these are busted off, okay? And they're full pieces. The Forest Service would have took these long pieces and cut them up into firewood and left them in the pile down there down below. You can see, if I can, it's frozen in. A lot of these are snapped off at ground level. Okay. So this is in the making. Did a human build it? We don't know. Forest people? We don't know. We didn't see it being done. But just funny that this is now the 6th teepee.
We gotta plot this one to see if it's on the white line.
Okay. Is this the 6th or 7th teepee? 7th teepee we found in this forest in a line. Okay. We're gonna plot it on the GPS to see if it is in line on the way line. Okay. And then just next to it, we find this. Look at this parallel. Could it have been bushcrafters? Could have been. Could it have been forest people? I'll show you something in a second. But bushcrafters, why would a bushcrafter have built that? You're going to say for a lean-to. Put a tarp over that and spend the night? They could have. Why would they do it over boulders? There's a big boulder there. There's a big boulder there. There's a tree there. There's big boulders right under the snow here. Okay? The way this is constructed, you got a living tree here. And then this piece is broke off and stuck in here. Look how it's attached. Tree boughs. Whoops. I didn't want to do that. Tree boughs are tied in. Okay, look at that. Do forest people do that? Yes, it's been said that they do. It's been shown that they do. Okay, there's parallel. You can see where it goes, see how it's in there. The other end is exactly the same way. It's tied in with tree boughs. Bushcrafters carry paracord with them. They use paracord to do this kind of stuff. Okay? Something to think about. Okay, there are snowshoers that go through here. That's one of the biggest reasons why we came in here today.
How small this is.
But when we saw this, yeah, this isn't built as a shelter.
Nope.
Okay. And the way it's constructed, it's got the center post going up, and then the rest of the logs are laid in there teepee fashion, just like the others that we've showed. And I want it to be known, I've said our other spots are just about a mile over that hill. We've heard whoops, we've heard tree knocks in this general area. We were going to go hiking. We came up here with the intent of learning how to snowshoe because we bought some snowshoes. We'll show them later. And it was supposed to have been a grand day. You can see that there's blue skies above us. But unfortunately, it's also snowing. And right over them trees there, there's two 14ers. And there's a blizzard going on just a couple miles away from here, and it's blowing this way. We don't want to get out a mile or two away from the vehicle and get stuck in a blizzard. Even though we're prepared for it, we just don't want to do it today. So what we're going to do, we had the intent of coming up here today and doing a snowfield chat. Kind of like a fireside chat, but this would have been a snowfield chat. So we're still going to do it. We're just going to cruise to a different area because that blizzard's coming in fast, it looks like. And there are other people up here snowshoeing, and we just don't want to get in their way. Putting our camera down and doing a chat, and it's really cold. It's colder than it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be in the mid-30s, and it's around 20 degrees. With that wind chill, it's probably colder. The thermometer in the car said 23 degrees in the parking lot. It's below 20 right here with the wind chill. So let us get to another spot, and we'll explain ourselves. You can see how, look at this picnic table. You can see how deep the snow is. It's as high as the bench. That's why we wanted to go snowshoeing, but it's not, this right here is not open enough for us. We've never done it together. The last time I snowshoed was when I was about 12 years old in the Boy Scouts. And that was on those big, huge harp type. So we're going to head back to the car, and we're going to cruise to another place that's a little more adequate for what we want to do. We've got a lot of things that we want to explain. We've got some shout outs. We've got some upcoming events we want to talk about. And new gear. We want to talk about some new gear and show our new gear. But this right here, this is cool.
Yeah.
And that's fresh. There's no tracks around it in the snow. But it's been snowing up here daily almost. But yeah, those are live trees that have been broke. Like I said, if the Forest Service would have cut those trees down, they would have cut them up and then stuck them in these piles. Okay? That's why we love this area. But yeah, I walked over a little bit, and that one right there is hollow. So that was all leaned up. And it's not very small. It's not very big. There's no way a person could climb in there and stay and be comfortable. It was just done. So give us a little bit. Let us find a spot that's a little warmer. And we'll get back with you. See ya. All right, we're back. We took off from that last place, our last spot where the blizzard was coming in. We drove quite a ways. So we thought we'd come over here and there'd be less snow, but turns out there's less snow, but the snow that is here is like ice. But we get in here and it's right off the road. You can see the road's up there. We filmed it down here before, and we took off because it got a little spooky down here. And I just heard a wood knock. We were going to do our chat down here, but we'll see what happens. But we just found this, and I do not remember this being here the last time we were here. There's an X right there. There's another X right there. And then if you come around, that leaner right there goes up to an X. I do not remember this being here. That part of the X comes down, it's broken right there. So the way these are all weaved and tangled in here, it's strange, interesting. We're not saying Sasquatch did it, but it seemed interesting, and that's why we're showing it. So I noticed something else over there, and Ingrid just walked over there. We were going to try to walk across there, but that is sheer ice. So give me a couple minutes to get over there. I'll be right back. All right. I just made my way over to what I saw, and Ingrid was over here. First off, look at that little snapped off leaner right there. It's interesting. This is what we came over here for. I'm hearing stuff down behind us. Now see, you can see the ground, all these pine needles and stuff. Unfortunately, under the pine needles is sheet ice. But this right here, Ingrid, can you go up and just pick it up? That's a stump. That's an old stump. That piece of wood is cut on the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's cut on the end. Look at that. I saw that from over there at the X's, and that's over that way. Now, we did a video down here last spring, and we went all the way down there. We're not going to do it today because of all the ice. And in that video, we were clear down there at the bottom. We found a trackway. We started following that trackway and came upon pretty interesting bunch of leaners. But we also heard some stuff in front of us. We heard a growl and a grunt. So we got a little spooked, and Ingrid got a sense that she wanted to get out of there real quick, so we left. We don't go into places if we feel bad. But you can hear the traffic up behind us. This is directly off the road back there. But if you remember right, in that video, and you can see how steep it is that I'm standing. In that video, we found a leaner. It was a parallel on a stump, and it was farther over there by where those X's were. I thought that's what it was, but it wasn't. Just now. And on that parallel was an animal skeleton. You can go back. I don't remember the name of the video, I'm sorry. But that parallel is no longer there. So go figure, huh? On the way over to here, we stopped at a couple places. We were going to do our Sasquatch chat there along a river, but the sound of the river we felt was going to drown out our video sound. So we came over to here, and unfortunately, there's a lot of traffic, and we don't want the sound of the traffic to drown us out either. But here you go. This is another spot where we've been before. And what we found before is gone, and new stuff's been put in. Could people have done it? Yes. Humans could have did it. I'm still hearing stuff down below us. If you remember right, we walked down over into there, and there is kind of a little meadow off to the side, and there was some stick glyphs and stuff down there. But you can see all that snow, that's glare ice. That's where I'm hearing the sounds from. No whoops, no hollers, just sticks breaking and like footsteps. Probably an elk, could be a deer. I don't know what the woodknock would be. Because I know elk and deer don't do woodknocks. Hopefully it came on the video. So we're just going to scout around here a couple more minutes. If we find anything else more, we'll come back on, but we're going to discuss our plan, figure out what we're going to do, because we still want to do a chat. And my next plan is go to another place where we're going to start doing some investigating anyway. And I'll let you know where it is if we go there right now. And I'll explain why we're there and why we want to go there, because it's interesting. So we'll be back.